Hey crafty cuties, welcome back to Paper Terrace. Today we are going to turn a policy envelope into a simple junk journal, a fabric junk journal. I've done this many times on camera, but I was making one today and I figured I would throw on the camera. Maybe you're here for the first time, and if you are, I would love for you to leave a comment down below so I can say hello to you. So I needed to make a journal for someone, and it's supposed to be like a fall themed journal, and I just got this fabric and I had to use it. So this was the perfect opportunity. And so we are going to take our policy envelope, we're just jumping right in, and I went ahead and folded it in half to figure out where the halfway mark was, and then I made 2 fold marks on either side of that middle so that we could create just the base of like a little spine for our journal. You can totally just fold this in half if you want, but I wanted there to be enough space in here to fit in a variety of pages and have room for it to grow. So I did notice that when I did this, it made my policy envelope a little bit off center. So I'm actually just going to trim off the excess so that the front and back page are the same size. So we will start by doing that. I just did a bad job at measuring because I don't like to measure. So I go with it. But I'm just going to trim this off, and let me show you. I am trimming on the edge of this policy envelope that doesn't have the flap, but that also doesn't really matter because I am not planning to use the inside envelopes anyways. So I noticed it was about 1/8 of an inch difference here. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim that, but if you do a better job at measuring, you won't need to do this. And we're going to be covering it with fabric anyways. All right. So now we should have an even front cover and back cover. And if you're curious, my cover is going to be about 6 inches by almost 10. So this is a really tall journal, but I think it'll be fun. Now I want mine to be a little bit more plush than just the fabric, and I don't have any batting right now. However, I typically would use batting for this layer, but I'm just going to use a layer of this really thin batting, and I am just going to start out by adding glue along the edges. I am going to take this to my sewing machine at some point and sew everything on. However, you can absolutely just use glue. I'm using Tombow Mono Aqua Glue. I'll have any links in the description that I can for any of the supplies I'm using, which will be my Amazon affiliate links. Okay, so I'm just gonna try my best to line this up, smooth it out. It doesn't have to be smooth perfectly because I will be putting that other layer of fabric over the top, but I'm going to go ahead and try my best to have this be as close to the size of the policy envelope. I'm not going to wrap around the edges of this. So we'll trim. It is such a rainy day, so I feel like it was the perfect day to make a fall journal. And if you're curious, I got this fabric in Happy Mail. So I don't know, I think it may have come from Hobby Lobby. And I'm just mentioning that because it's so cute that I'm guessing some of you might want to know. So sorry I don't have the exact information on where it came from. Okay, so now we're gonna take our fabric, and I want it to be probably about 1 inch bigger than the cover on all of the edges. Wow, I have a lot here, so that's exciting. So I'm gonna go ahead and just trim all the way around, about an inch bigger on all sides. Okay, so I was just making sure the placement is good for me. I love that this larger mushroom will be on the cover, but we're gonna flip it over and I am going to just trim on all of the corners at like at an angle. But you know what, actually, sorry, I take that back. We're gonna go ahead and add some glue first just to hold it in place. But again, I am going to be taking it to my sewing machine. So I do not need an abundance of glue because guess what? I don't want any bubbling happening. Now, if you have the right glue, a lot of people tell me that Fabrifix will not make any bubbling happening between paper and fabric. I've used it in the past and I swear I did have bubbling, so maybe I used too much. I never used to have any with Tombow Mono Aqua, but I still trust this glue because it is a heavy duty glue and lasts and adds some stability to your project. So those are the reasons I still use it, and because I don't like going between a bunch of different glues in my craft room. That's expensive and annoying. Okay, so I'm gonna just go like that. Okay, now let's go ahead also, and I'm just going to tape down this flap. I'm not going to need to access that. Now you can totally make your covers not wrap around if you want to have that pocket to access, which can be really fun too. But I'm just trimming off the corners almost all the way down to where the paper is, but not quite. And then we can go ahead and wrap all of the excess fabric all the way around on all four sides. So again, I'm gonna add glue just right around all of the sides. And then we can wrap the fabric all the way around. And I am pulling pretty tight when I wrap these around, which is gonna help that fabric stretch out and not have any wrinkles, or at least have very little. And I'll just kind of hold it in place until it sticks to the glue. Before we take it to the sewing machine, I'll go ahead and line the inside with some scrapbook paper. And I'm going to be using a lot of pages from this pack I got from Michael's called Autumn Dream. And so let's see. So I want this to be fall, but not too pumpkin-y because I am sending this out a little late. Let's see. So yeah, I think I'm going to use this one, but then I'll decorate quite a bit of it. So let me cut this down. I do want there to be lots of fall colors, so I'm going to use these. Let's see. We're going to use these for the closure. This is some very vintage lace. We'll just add a little bit of glue just to hold it in place for now. If you're not using a sewing machine, then I would just add extra glue just to make sure those are really secure. But you only need about an inch or so of the lace to be glued down. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue down the pages, even though again I'll be taking it to the sewing machine, but I want to cover all my bases. So if the glue fails, the sewing will be there. If the sewing fails, the glue will be there. Yes, I was supposed to send a monthly journal to one of my Patreon members, and they disabled their account in the middle of the month or something like that. And so when I went to send out the journals, they didn't show up as an active member. And if I had clicked like on their profile and everything, I would have absolutely been able to see all of those details, but I didn't like know to. And then she checked with me in the kindest, sweetest way. And when she did, for whatever reason, I actually thought that she was a member of a different tier. And so I sent her a journal pack, not a journal. And then I'm so glad that she said something, because I knew that she felt bad, but she checked with me, and then I felt bad. And so I wanted to make sure that the journal that I'm sending her, that she should have received, was still able to be used, because they were fall themed journals that I sent in September, or at the end of September rather. But now we're at the end of October, so I do hope that this is something she'll be able to use. I should make sure that was right side up. It is. So I'm hoping that this is a theme that she'll be able to use. And while I still want it to have fall elements, I didn't want it to be too over the top fall, I guess. So I wanted to also add a lace pocket here. So I'm going to just cut this down, and this will get sewn on. But I also found this pretty cool Tim Holtz paper that I really liked, and I feel like I want to include that somehow. So what if maybe this could go on the front page though? Do we like that? This could be like on the first page. I could turn this into a pocket or something. Let's do that. So we'll save that, and we will take this all to the sewing machine. Okay, ouch, just hit my knee. So I actually took 2 pieces of cardstock, and I am actually going to layer my lace over these 2, and then I'm gonna have like a double pocket. So I hope that makes sense. One of the pockets will be under the lace, and then one will be under the cardstock that will go onto the inside cover. So we will work on putting this together first. Again, you can do all of this without a sewing machine. I just like the look. But before I sew anything down, I'm gonna sew this pretty doily in the center of my lace here, or closest to the center. And sometimes when I am sewing a circular shape, it's hard to get it just perfect. So what I will do is I make it look intentionally messy, and I'll go around a couple times, like in a very messy way. I hope that makes sense. I feel like it kind of adds to it. And again, it makes it look intentional, and then you don't have to worry about it being perfect. So, and I like the look, but of course, you know, whatever you like, you can do. Okay, just cut off the excess pieces here, and then now we will go ahead, and I have one of the pieces of cardstock a little higher in the back so that it'll be easy to find the pocket top. Okay, I'm just gonna hold everything together so I don't have to use any additional glue. We can go back to our cover. So I could just glue this to the inside of my pocket, or of my, of my cover, and I think actually I'm going to do that. And well, I'm just gonna add glue around the edges of the pocket, place it where I want it. It's kind of just lines up with the inside cover anyways. And then we can go ahead and just sew around the entire border of this journal. And I'll just do that off camera. You're not really able to see a whole lot, and it's loud. So I'll see you after we get this all sewn around the edges. Okay, we have our cover sewn and finished. Looking cute. So now we're gonna get to the pages. We're gonna have this be a pretty simple junk journal. So I am going to have a variety of pages, but I really love these scrapbook pages. So I will be using some of these. I want 10 full pages, so I know I'm going to use this leaf one because I feel like this could work all year round. Let's do this one. And then I actually have a second one here. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find one of the mushroom prints to kind of go to tie into my cover. And right here. I'm not sure how I'll use this because this is in the center, but I'll find a way. And let's pick one more scrapbook paper. Oh, there's one in here that has sweaters. And then again, I feel like this could be good for like all year, at least the cold part of the year. All right, so we have, what is that, 4 scrapbook pages, something like that. So then I want 6 like others. So I'm gonna use this as a page, a little time card, some wallpaper, book pages, and other miscellaneous pages. So I am going to cut everything down to size, and I'll do that off camera so we can focus on the kind of decorating portion of this. Everything is folded. So in case you're new to junk journals, I'm going to be making one signature, and a signature is just basically a folded group of papers. And so I am going to make that with you right here, and then we're going to do a little bit of decorating. So I'm just kind of have all my pages all randomly out here. So I think I am going to, I want this page to be on the outside. So then I'm going to just start by kind of alternating sizes and types of pages. I have some smaller pieces as well, or pages, book pages, graph paper, a pretty fun variety. And I'll be adding a little bit of decoration to these. Let's see here. Okay, now the middle page, I wanted to make sure to include this mushroom, and since it's in the center of the page, unless I have it opening up in the center, you wouldn't be able to see it. So I'm gonna do that. And then we're left with these white pages, which I'm gonna decorate in some way. And like I said, I wanted to use this in some way for the cover, or the front page. And I think I'm just going to trim it down a little bit. Let's see. And I'm gonna make like a little double pocket situation. And I'm going to also add lace to the pages, the journal pages on the edge. Okay, so that fits perfect. I'm gonna fold it in half so I can figure out where the halfway point is. One of my favorite little pocket ideas. I'm gonna take some Distress Oxide ink and pine needles and just ink up the edges all along here to get started. I'm also going to take my circle punch and I'm going to punch a half circle out of the edge, and I'll show you why in just a second. And then I'll also add some ink around that. Okay. Also, I'm going to round the corners just to give it a little bit more of a finished edge. I'll do that to all 4 while it's folded. This is very satisfying. Okay, then we'll undo it. Ooh, this is gonna be such a cute little double pocket. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of decorating along the center line here, and I'm gonna take some lace. I'm just gonna trim that down a little bit more. and I want to add one of these skeleton leaves. Something like that. And then I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and sew down the 3 sides and then down the center. But really quick, I'm going to add a little variety of leaves. I have these clear sticker leaves. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out exactly where I want to put it. Maybe actually off to the side. Yeah, so this one's going to go right here. I just realized too that I probably didn't need to ink up that center since I'm gonna have some lace. Do I want it to go all the way across? I don't know, I'm indecisive. And then this one, kind of like that. And then, yeah, we're just gonna kind of layer these up. I think that's fun because it's like a variety of leaves, but I'm starting to think that maybe I don't want this lace to cover up the entire center. Yeah, I think I kind of like this, just like a little cluster over here. Okay, let's go to the sewing machine and then we can sew this on and then we'll sew lace on the edges of all of these. All right, so I am gonna just do the rest of this off camera because I'm just gonna do a lot of sewing and I have a variety of laces that I'll cut down and then I'll see you once all of the laces are sewn on. All right, we have our little bundle of lacy edge pages. I love how this front pocket turned out. Let me know what you guys think. Love the little bundle of leaves with the different types of leaves. This back here, I forgot to tell you, was a die cut that I cut out and I inked it up. So I went ahead and just made a quick little duo of tags as well so that I could put those in here. So we'll do that. And then I think we're gonna bind this and then I'll add just a couple more decorations before we finish it up. So let's take the journal cover now. We're gonna do a super simple binding. Grab my awl. Okay, let's see here. I am going to just randomly punch 3 holes. I'm going to use my little binding tool here also, just to hold everything nice and together. Okay, I kind of have to bring this closer to my face, but we're going to have to punch through the mushroom, but that's okay. Center. One at the top and one at the bottom. Just making sure that gets through all of the pages. And I'm going to punch the holes separately for on here. So I am just going to kind of line this up and just mark a little hole. I want to make sure that these holes end up in the center of the spine. So that's why I'm just going to do it separate because it's a little bit easier to see where that center mark is. And last one. Yeah, I would have ended up punching them off to the side if I hadn't done that. Okay, then we're going to take some waxed linen thread. This is a good color for this one. And I'm just going to take about 2.5 times the height of the journal. I'm going to take a sewing needle. I'll thread it, just leaving a little tail. There we go. Just a little tail on the edge here. And then we'll just do a quick 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So we're going to go through the center to the outside of the cover, leaving a little tail on the inside. Flip it around and we're going to go up to that top hole, threading it into all of the pages as well. Sorry if you can't see, I gotta make sure that I'm doing a good job at getting that into all the pages. pull that, oops, nice and tight. Then we'll go down to the bottom hole to the outside. Oops. Pulling it tight and then just going back through the center hole where we started. Okay, let me just make sure. Whoopsies. Okay, sorry, I gotta bring it to my face real quick so that I can make sure that I get it into that center hole. And then we'll just pull it through. And I did accidentally like sew through the existing thread, and that happens a lot, and it's fine if you can kind of untwine them, if that even is a word, so that you can pull tight. There we go. Making sure it's tight on the outside as well. It is. And then we can go ahead and tie that off. And we're almost done, but like I mentioned, I have a couple blank pages that I just wanted to embellish a little bit. So I'm gonna just kind of do a little flip through with you guys so we can go through and add any final touches. I am going to take this embossed tag. I'm gonna stick that in. Let's see. So remember, we have several pockets here. We'll go like that. I'm going to put a little policy envelope that I made. And we'll put that just to kind of showcase that we have lots of pockets here. And then we will go through. We have a pocket here. I'm going to put a little tag, a little washi tag that I made in this pocket. Go through. I think I'm just going to leave this page. Well, okay, actually I have this set of stickers that I kind of wanted to use anyways, so let me see. Ooh, this is cute. I'll just put this down at the bottom. Like that. Sorry, you can't see that, so just a little embellishment. I don't want to do too much. And I'm going to leave this one mostly blank, but I'm going to take my stencil, just do some light stenciling. Same with this one. And then for this page, I'm also going to take this cute paper I have. I'm going to not glue it down, but I will take some washi tape and just go like that, and then it can be removed or kept on there either way. We have that, super fun. And then let's see, I was thinking about doing something to this page. Oh, I have this little scrap actually, and I think I'm going to add it to the bottom. Actually, I kind of like the side. I never do like a little mini side pocket, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just going to add glue. If my glue didn't dry up, I think it did. Let's poke that open. Okay. Just barely add glue around the edges. I want to make sure that doesn't ooze out. And we'll put it kind of sideways like that. And then I'm gonna add something in the pocket so that that's obvious. And I have some little embellishments and things in here. So let's go ahead. Just like that. And I'm gonna add a little sticker to our policy envelope here. There we go. Honestly, I think I'm gonna leave this blank. And I think everything else is good. Yeah, I think we are all done. I have one little, oh, whoops, I pulled that out. I have one more thing that I'm going to include with this journal. I made this little stuffed pocket on one of my recent videos, and I thought that the plaid and the little house kind of went cute with it, but I'm just going to include it with it like this. So that's going to conclude this video. I had fun making this with you guys, and I hope that it gave you some inspiration, or maybe you learned something. So feel free to leave me a comment down below, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye.